In Ohio, it seems it's never too early to talk elections or to think about how they should be done, or maybe in this case, not done. States like Alaska, Maine, as well as cities like New York and San Francisco utilize ranked choice voting. Ballots include first, second, third, or more choices, depending on how many candidates are running. The idea is to pare down the candidates to get to a majority consensus or winner instead of a plurality winner. But there's a bill in the State House that argues ranked choice shouldn't even be a choice in Ohio. So what's going on here? Joining me now to discuss, Denise Riley. She is the Executive Director for Rank the Vote Ohio. Denise, welcome to CTW.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I asked this of all people when it comes to changes or things they want to see done. Why do you think this is necessary? And I ask that also not with a note of cynicism here, but understanding that the other side at times employs issues that make elections to be a lot more undeterminate than what they really are in Ohio. Elections are safe and secure by way of example. Why do you want to see this change?
I want to see this change because I want to be represented by my representatives. In Ohio and nationwide, many of our candidates are elected with far, far less than the majority of the votes. And so then they end up having to only represent a small few of the people. And you can see this in even the vote to ban ranked choice voting, which is a great attack on home rule here in Ohio. 86 opponents, 14 proponents, and most of those proponents were large organizations, lobbyists, et cetera.
Let me ask you this, Denise. Why should taxpayers support this? Because this would result in some sort of infrastructure change, wouldn't it?
So most of the voting machines nationwide are transforming themselves through their software to allow for ranked choice voting. There's like 2 voting machines in Ohio that are not yet ranked choice ready just by a software upgrade. So it would require a small percentage of the tax dollars to affect this change.
Where would
I do believe that it's like pennies per voter.
Where would this be most effective? Do you want to see this at a statewide level, or is this more something that local governments can use or should use?
Well, local governments run better with a ranked choice ballot. For instance, in Cincinnati, when they enacted it along with proportional representation and a few other changes, they went from the worst governed city in America to the best governed city in America. And people nationwide started calling ranked choice voting the Cincinnati model. And
this was obviously before, right? We're talking about in history.
Yes. This was in the 20s through 1957.
I got a few seconds here. If this does get pushed down by the state legislature, what's your next move?
My next move would be to challenge it legally, because you should not be able to ban something indirectly that you cannot ban directly.
Denise,
and we are currently working with partners to do that.
Denise Riley, Executive Director for Rank the Vote Ohio. Denise, I want to get to the other side, but thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Joining me now is State Senator Bill Demora. The Democrat is co-sponsoring a bipartisan bill that seeks to ban ranked choice voting in Ohio. Senator, welcome back to CTW.
Thanks for having me again.
This works in states like Alaska and Maine, and cities like San Francisco and New York. Those cities, of course, are Democratic strongholds, I might add that. Why shouldn't it be allowed to work in a Democratic stronghold such as your district?
Well, first of all, it doesn't ban it. It says if you use it, you lose local government funds, because the Constitution will not allow us to ban it. So I want to make that clear.
But isn't that in a sense, are we playing semantics here? Because if you don't got the money for it, right?
Well, they can theoretically forego money if they want to. So again, I want to make sure that it's clear that we're not banning it. We're just saying if you use it, you lose local government funds. And the way the Republicans are cutting local government funds every year, in a year or two, it might not be a lot of money anyhow. So I want to put that clear. But listen, Maine and Alaska, there are more people in the city of Columbus than those two states combined. So let's not get carried away with Alaska and Maine and stuff. And the cities that used it, some like it, some have not used it. I mean, Arlington, Virginia implemented it. The second year, they took a survey of people and from 1 to 100 graded, and the average score was 52. Now, 52 is failing.
Right.
The last time I had a paper graded in college.
Let me ask you this, Senator, though, because really, shouldn't we also be talking about choice here? Doesn't it go against home rule if you implement some sort of means of ranked choice voting? If not withholding it from being an option, then certainly making it more difficult to do so when a normal election or plurality election would not lose funds, right? Is this a home rule issue?
Well, it is, but it isn't, because under Ohio law, every poll machine in the county has to be the same, has to have the same technology, has to be the same machine. If, we'll say the village of Grandview Heights, which is in my district, a smaller town in the district, Grandview Heights, say they wanted to use ranked choice voting. If they passed it, that would force every other entity in Franklin County and would force the Franklin County Board of Elections to buy all new machines just to serve the 3 or 4 precincts in Grandview that vote. And it would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to get new software and or new machines. So it's not a home rule issue per se for one town. What one town does affects everybody else in that county.
I'm sure you'll agree that we are in a very polarized political environment. Isn't this a way to cut through that, especially when you consider, you may disagree on ranked choice voting. We can all agree, and outsiders have agreed. The state Supreme Court has agreed. We've got a gerrymandering problem in this state. And as a result of that, we've got more polarization. Is this a way to cut through that?
See, I don't think so. I mean, there are a lot of ways we can cut through polarization. We can let people vote without all these bills Republicans have been passing with citizenship, about showing IDs. We should allow same-day registration. We should allow the golden week back. We should allow the day before election day to early vote. We can do all these things to increase participation that has been cut away by small cuts every year. I mean, the number of voters that the current Secretary of State purges every year that shouldn't be purged. So those are keeping people from voting. This, I will honestly, this is something that ranked choice voting helps minor parties. It helps third parties. It doesn't help Democrats and Republicans per se. We don't have voter turnout. The problem we have is only 40% of people in Columbus turn out to vote in the last election. It's not that we shouldn't be making it more confusing and harder, not harder to vote, but more confusing to vote. We should go out and actually, people that are eligible to vote, get them to vote, register them to vote, make sure they cast their votes. But our turnout has been so abysmal. This isn't going to change that thing. I mean, it's the education part to get people to vote, and this is going to make it even more confusing for those people that already that find excuses not to vote.
Senator Bill Demora, valid points all. Let's see how this all plays out. Senator, thank you again for your time.
Thank you, sir. Hope to see you soon.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage. And click the subscribe button here. You can also download our app and watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.